Hi everybody, Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? Really, I miss you too much. Inshallah, today the third part of our lesson, infectious diseases. We're still talking about infection diseases and how the infectious diseases spread over and cause sickness for people. Today we'll start to talk about how the disease spreads, the spread of disease. For any disease to be spread, it needs to have two things. What are these two things? We'll talk about them. But before talking about this, we need first to know, are all microorganisms surrounding us are pathogens? No. Sure, no. There are microorganisms even more than human beings. There are microorganisms surrounding us, and every point around us there is microorganisms. But not all microorganisms cause diseases, only some of them. And this is, alhamdulillah, something good from God, alhamdulillah. For any disease to spread, it needs two things: reservoir and a way of spread. If there is no reservoir, there will not be disease. If there is no way of spread, so the disease will not spread. So let's first talk about the reservoir. What is reservoir? The reservoir is the source of the pathogen in the environment. So think, if we don't have source, we don't have pathogen, we don't have disease. So the reservoir is the source of the pathogen. And it can be animal, people, or inanimate objects such as soil. So let's first of all talk about human. When the human is the reservoir of the sickness, or when the human is the reservoir of the pathogen. Some types of pathogens, like the bacteria that cause common cold, and the common cold, some of the common cold are caused by bacteria and some are caused by viruses. So when the human is affected by the pathogen, it can transfer or spread this pathogen to other individuals. And sometimes you carry the pathogen, you have the virus or you have the bacteria, and you don't develop any symptoms yet. Like the case of corona, which is our example. Corona, the COVID virus, the COVID-19 virus, or the virus that causes corona disease, have incubation time up to 14 days. Incubation time means this virus is inside the body, but you don't have any symptoms. You don't even know that you have the virus. You are healthy. Everything is okay, because the virus is still attacking the body slowly, and recognize first where are your weak points to attack you from them. So the time needed for the virus to, or for the pathogen to express some symptoms, it's called the incubation period. This incubation period, through the incubation period, you have the virus and you can spread it. So, but you don't know that you have the virus, so you don't take care of others, you don't take care of your way of acting. You are acting normally, you are doing all your tasks normally without any precautions, but you have virus and you don't know. During this time, you can spread the virus over and over. You can give the infection to others and you don't know even that you have the virus. The individual that is symptom-free and he have no symptoms about the virus or about the bacteria or about the disease, but he can pass the disease for others, he is called a carrier. Carrier is a person that have a disease or a pathogen inside his body, but he doesn't express any symptoms yet. So he doesn't know himself he is sick, but he can transfer and spread the virus without even thinking about this. So the people who have the pathogen and they don't have any symptoms, they are carriers. So the carriers can carry and can pass the disease for others, and they don't even know they have the disease. And we have many examples for this. The most familiar one these days is corona. Why you are taking care even from the people who are healthy? Because the virus can be in your body and you're still healthy. You don't have any symptoms yet. Another type of reservoir is animals. Some animals are having viruses or bacteria or pathogen, and they can pass it to human and even to other animals. I think you all know about the flu that can transfer to human being from pigs or from birds. These are familiar examples that we can deal with. Sometimes we have the influenza, we have the infection, we have the pathogen, not from human being but from other animals. This is another example of reservoir. Animals can be a reservoir for some pathogens. And also, beside animals and human, some objects, some non-living objects can be reservoir, like the soil, the water, and food. Sometimes in the soil there is bacteria living in the soil, and these bacteria are pathogens. They can live in the soil, and when we are playing, sometimes the kids are playing in the soil and like to do this, and they get sick later because of bacteria which is living in the soil can attack our body and can cause disease for us. So here I get the sickness or I get the disease, but not from a human being or even not from an animal. I get it from the soil. Sometimes when I drink water which is contaminated with the bacteria or with the virus or with the protozoa, a fungi, any of the pathogen can enter my body and I can later pass it to others. But it's passed to me through the water, through the contaminated water. And even some types of food, when the food is contaminated, like I think if you heard about typhoid before. Typhoid is a disease that caused by bacteria, basically live in the vegetables. So if you are not washing your vegetables well and you eat it without good cleaning, so may you will get typhoid. So typhoid enter our body not from other person but from the food we are eating if the food is contaminated. So simply, the disease to spread, the infectious disease to spread, it needs two things. Today we'll talk about only one of them, which is reservoir. What is the reservoir? The reservoir is something or source of the pathogen. Something in which the pathogen is living, and when we are dealing with this thing, we will get the pathogen. Reservoir can be human being, animals, or other reservoir which are basically non-living things. In the human case, when the human have the pathogen, it can pass it to others. If the pathogen is bacteria, virus, and so on, what types of pathogens we knew before. If the human being have the pathogen and he can pass it to others, so the human is a reservoir in this case. Something else, which is sometimes the human have the disease and he doesn't know. The human have the virus, the bacteria, the pathogen, and he doesn't know. We say about this case, the human is a carrier. Carrier is a human that have no symptoms, but the pathogen is inside the body. And in this time, he can pass the pathogen and he doesn't know that he has it. Also, animals can be reservoir, and we know the common cold that can be transferred from birds and pigs to human beings. This is a familiar example. And the third reservoir can be non-living items like the soil, contaminated water, contaminated food, and even contaminated objects. Nowadays, we are telling everybody, please wash your hand frequently. Don't touch any surface until you clean it first. What is this? Because the COVID-19 can live on the surfaces. So if somebody who has the virus is sneezing or coughing on an object, so the virus is going to live on this object or on this surface for some hours. During these hours, if you touch this surface, you will have the virus. So please, before touching any surface, clean it first. And if you touch any surface without cleaning it, wash your hand frequently and don't touch your face with your hand. So if you have the virus in your hand, the virus cannot enter the body from hand. It needs to enter the body through your respiratory system, which means nose and mouth. So please, if you are carrying anything and touching any objects without cleaning without gloves or without cleaning these surfaces, please wash your hands frequently and try your best to keep your hands away from your face. Don't touch your face every time you are outside, especially when you are outside. take care of your health, and see you soon. Goodbye, see you later.